some of the instincts that feel right on a motorcycle can actually put you in danger. The good news, you can retrain your mind to ride smarter and safer. Hi, I'm Dave. I've been a professional motorcycle coach with over 25 years of experience. As a champion certified coach with Yamaha Champ School and a USMCA certified instructor, I've spent years helping riders of all skill levels recognize and correct these bad habits. Today, I'm going to break down 3 more common riding instincts that seem natural but could be holding you back, or worse, putting you at risk. So let's fix them. Number 1, tipping in early. Now, I think we can both agree that cornering is the best part of the whole motorcycle thing, right? But a lot of riders tip in or begin turning too soon. Either they are excited to get to the good stuff, or a fear of running wide makes them feel like starting the turning process as soon as possible is safer because it'll make it easier to stay on the road. Unfortunately, in most cases, it causes more problems than it solves. Depending on the corner and how much visibility we have, tipping in too soon can reduce visibility because trees or rocks, terrain, houses, or whatever else might block your line of sight. If the corner gets tighter, by tipping in too soon can often lead to having to make a big correction later on in the bend, often when we have fewer options. You see, tipping in too soon is effectively committing to the corner too soon. Instead of tipping in too soon, the better approach is to enter corners from the outside and stay to the outside, slowing down until we can see our exit and take away lean angle. When we do this, we're going much slower at the point in the corner where we need to get the bike turned towards the exit. Less speed, less lean, and more grip. Just keep in mind the white line may have more gravel on it, and the yellow line could have an oncoming car coming at you. So make good line choices that still follow this basic path of travel. Number 2, coasting through the corners. Now, while we're on this topic, here's another thing I've been seeing a lot of lately. As riders get to the corner, they're squeezing the clutch, disengaging the engine from the rear wheel, and then freewheeling or coasting through the corner. I've worked with a bunch of students the last few years who were doing this. Now, this might seem harmless and it may even feel smoother, but it actually comes with quite a few risks. First off, when the engine is disengaged, you're giving up a fair bit of control. Most notably, you miss out on the benefits of engine braking, which helps manage speed, especially in corners, particularly on downhill corners where your speed can creep up faster than expected. Maneuverability takes a hit too. Without engine engagement, adjusting speed and position throughout the turn becomes a little bit trickier. And a sudden clutch release could even cause the rear wheel to hop or slip. Plus, if something unexpected happens, the delay in re-engaging the engine and selecting the right gear could be costly. All of this adds up to instability, making it harder to handle your bike precisely when you need it the most. So while coasting may feel better, it actually increases risks and makes riding more unpredictable. It's almost always better to leave the clutch out and take advantage of the engine braking. Now, if you find yourself slowing down too much into the corner, instead of squeezing the clutch and freewheeling, instead leave the bike in a higher gear. Number 3, counterleaning. Now, this one is so prevalent that a lot of respected folks advocate for it, despite it not working the way people think. Counterleaning or counterweighting the bike is when we keep our body upright, but we push the bike down to make the bike do all the leaning. At slow speeds, cone weaves, and U-turns, it is indeed extremely effective because we're going slow and we have a lot of mechanical grip. But with the exception of quick swerves, which is its own topic, once speeds come up to a more real-world pace, it quickly starts increasing our level of risk. Now, it feels safer because our body is more upright, and the advocates will say things like, well, if you crash, you'll end up on top of the motorcycle, which is pretty silly because counterleaning at higher speeds makes us more likely to crash. They'll also say it increases grip because there's more downward pressure on the tires, which is somewhat true when we're going slow, but less so when we're going faster and leaning to counteract the centripetal forces that are pushing us back upright. And depending on the bike, it could cost us in cornering clearance. And lastly, they'll say by counterleaning, our head is higher, so we have a better field of view. Let's look at that last one a little bit closer. Sure, it may feel like our head is up higher, but depending on the speed, because the bike is leaning so much more, the difference is likely to be negligible, or our head may actually even be lower when we're counterleaning. And what's worse, in order to counterlean a motorcycle, we need to twist and rotate our body away from the corner, which puts our shoulder in the way of turning our head, which makes it harder for us to look through the bend. But let's be fair and say our head is maybe a little bit higher. We are taking a lot of unnecessary risk to maybe have our eyes like this much higher at best, you know? The fact of the matter is, yes, motorcycles have to lean in order to change direction. But the more we lean, the more risk we are taking. And this is something we have to manage on every ride and with every choice we're faced with. So again, once the pace comes up or the grip goes down, we're often far better off reducing lean, even if it's just a little bit. Now, we don't need to hang off the bike like our MotoGP heroes. Even just staying centered in the seat is quite a bit better than counterleaning. Or if we want to further reduce our risk, all we really need to do is rotate our hips and point our zipper into the corner. And then when we relax our inside shoulder, we can start reducing how much the bike is leaning, which in turn gives us more available grip and more cornering clearance for getting through the bend, and it faces our head and eyes into the corner without having to turn our head so much. So there we have it. 3 more riding instincts that feel safer but could actually get you hurt. Hopefully this will help you rethink some of those instincts to help you become a safer, smarter, more confident rider. If you got some value out of this, give it a like, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more tips to keep you sharp on 2 wheels. But lately, I've been getting tons of emails saying that YouTube notifications aren't working or I'm not showing up in people's feeds. A few have even asked why I stopped making videos. Obviously, I haven't, so I created an email list. If you want, you can subscribe, and my plan is to send out just 1 email a month with links to current videos and a monthly bit of riding advice or news or events I'll be attending or whatever else. So consider signing up. But don't stop there. Check out this video where I break down another key riding skill that'll take your control and confidence to the next level. So yeah, I'll see you over there. Ride on and ride well.